I get asked this quite a lot, but how do you motivate yourself when you wake up and you just don't feel like it, or you go through a period where you're not feeling like it? You don't want to get out there. You don't want to, for whatever reason, and it could be running, it could be another sport, it could be music, it could be business, it could be work. There's periods in your life when you're just not as excited about what you're doing than you was before, and you just need to get back out to it. And the short answer is that when you're doing something that takes repetition, when you're doing something that takes time in order to get to where you need to get to, and we're talking like weeks and months and years to reach your potential, it's not just about motivation. It's not just about that initial drive that you have, that everybody has when they're excited by something new. Kids are like that. They'll get excited by something and all of a sudden they can think of nothing else but that new thing. And that's not what we're about. The thing that makes you a good runner, that makes you a good in your work, that makes you good in business, is the discipline. So initially, yes, you have that motivation, but you have to realize that discipline has to take over at some point. And yes, that motivation stays because you're passionate about what you're doing and you're making what you're doing fun. And you're making running fun, you're making the sessions fun, you're doing more of what you like and less of what you don't like, but you're not leaving out the stuff that's important for you to move forward, for you to improve. But at the same point, you've got to keep discipline. So some days you wake up and you don't feel like it. Those are the important days to realize that there's going to be lots of other people like me that have woken up today and don't feel like it, and they're not gonna work out. They're not gonna go out for a little run. They're not gonna kind of work on their business. They're not gonna work as hard as they possibly can. They're gonna coast. And those are the other people. Those are the 80%. Those are the people that's my competitors. And if you kind of think that on those days when I don't feel like it, if I can just get to an 8 or a 9 out of 10, that's so much better than the days that you're really, really motivated and you get a 10 out of 10. It's so much better because it means that if everything's not going right and you don't feel like it, and you have all the excuses that you could possibly think of to skip a day or to not do that day. If you're the type of person who can get in the gym or can go out for a run, can get something done on that day, even if it's a reduced workout, even if it's a reduced length run, and I'll talk about some little tricks in a minute, which you can probably guess, that's so much more valuable. That kind of mentality is so much more valuable to work on than the mentality of everything's going great, I'm running faster than ever, and I'm going to go out there and run. Anybody can do that. Anybody can be good when everything's going great. Anybody can be great when everything's going great, yeah? It's the same in work and it's the same in business. When you're doing deals and when everything's great, of course you want to do more, and of course you've got that confidence. It's when you've not had a couple of good months and when the chips are down, who are you really? And that's what's really important. It's exactly the same in running, and that's why running is such a perfect metaphor for the rest of your life. How you do anything is how you do everything. So a little trick doesn't happen to me anymore. Like, I'm pretty lucky like that I absolutely love running. And so I look forward to I go to bed the night before, my kit's laid out, there's no excuses. I look forward to having a coffee and going out for a run. I look forward to that. So I don't have the issue. But when the days that I can kind of closely kind of relate to that is when I've done a hard session the day before. So yesterday was a hard session. And so I wake up this morning, glutes are a bit sore, legs are definitely sore. Overall the legs are sore, but the glutes are sore. I can feel it in the hamstrings, I can feel it a bit in the quads, and the calves are a bit tight as well. So today I'm gonna trick myself. I'm literally gonna go for a walk, and within that walk I'm gonna do sets of a minute. So I'm gonna do a minute slowly running as much as I can, but I'm gonna work on my foot speed. So I'm gonna pick my feet up as quickly as I can off the floor, but I'm gonna run as slowly as I can, but with my toes, ankles, knees and hips aligned. And I'm going to make sure my arms are absolutely in the correct positions. I'm going to aim for the perfect running form. I'm going to do 20 times a minute. And what that will turn into, I know that because I know this because I've done it 100 times before. What that will turn into is I'll get out there, I'll walk for 500 meters, maybe 1,000 meters, 5-10 minute walk, and then I'll start running, and I just won't stop because I'm loving it so much. I'm comfortable, I'm feeling great. I'm out there it's great for the soul. I'm out there in the nature, and even if it's not beautiful around you, you're in your body, and you can feel every movement that it's taken, every part of you that it's taken to move forward. So if you just kind of trick yourself like that and move forward, getting out there, getting ready, and having your kit prepared the night before, and getting out there, it really is half the battle. Once you're out there, you're kind of out there, and it's harder to go back having done nothing than actually doing a 20-minute run or a 30-minute run. And if you think about over the year, let's say you're running 5 times a week, 52 weeks, 260 runs, yeah, including your 2 key sessions a week, interval session or long runs. So really 3 times a week, 159 runs, yeah. And let's say 10% of the time you don't really feel it, or 20% of the time you don't really feel it. That's 30 runs. So 30 times, you're kind of at a crossroads. Do I do nothing, or do I just try and do something? And if that something can just turn into a 20 or 30 minute really easy run where you've already got your kit set out, you're already having your water, you're already having your coffee, you're already going through that kind of morning routine, and it's part of your morning routine, then if of those 30 runs, just like 80% of them, you can just do a 20 or 30 minute run, how much difference that will make to your year, and then to your kind of progress over the years, and how quickly you're going to get. You're going to see a massive difference in your training schedule, which is usually around 10-12 weeks up to 3 months. And then over those training cycles, as you're getting better and better towards different events, different distances, what you're trying to achieve, it's a big difference. And you have to look at it over the long period. What it means to just skipping a run means absolutely nothing. Just skipping a gym workout means absolutely nothing. But overall, when you count up all those days, if you can just do something small, first of all, it's going to mean a lot in terms of your progress, in terms of how fast you recover after those big sessions. But it's all in the total number of days that you're actually going to be running that year. But it's also going to make you a more kind of mental resilient person, which is much more important in the bigger picture, because that will affect your work life, your business life, whatever else you're doing in your life, your family and relationships, etc. It's going to make you the type of person that when everything isn't going, when you're not feeling like it, you still have the discipline to get up and go. And that's what running teaches you, that when it's, no matter what what situation you're in, whether it's going great, whether it's average, whether it's good, whether it's absolutely horrific, you're still able to pull something out of the bag, and that is super important.